Okay. The next tax incentive is with regards to the employment tax incentive. What is this? So this is an incentive by government to try to encourage businesses. Now, the size of the business does not matter. There's no limit in terms of the revenue that your company makes. So any organization within South Africa, if you hire young South African employees, you qualify for this employment tax incentive if those employees meet certain criteria, right? So meaning that if you hire young, by young, I'm referring to South Africans that are between the ages of 18 and 30. They are South African as long as they hold a South African ID, right? Whether they are black, white, Indian, colored, purple, whatever. As long as they hold a South African ID, that's the second criteria. And their salary is less than 6,500. So if your organization hires young South Africans that are between the ages of 18 and 30, South African, earning less than 6,500 Rand, you get an employment tax incentives that results in your employees' tax being reduced over a period of 2 years. Okay, so I'll give you an example of how this one works. Okay, you should be seeing an Excel spreadsheet that says calculating your pay-as-you-earn liability. If you don't see it, please let me know. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you hire an employee that meets those criteria. They are South African, they are between the ages 18 and 30, and they're earning less than 6,500 Rand. So let's say you have an employee. Let's say you have an employee and that employee that meets those criteria earns 4,000 Rand, right? From that employee, your company gets this employment tax incentive that will amount to 1,500 Rand to reduce your pay as you earn. So at a bigger scale, let's say you have 10 of these employees that earn 4,000 Rand and meet those criteria. So your employment tax incentive will amount to 15,000. What this means is your pay as you earn. So let's say your overall pay as you earn for the company amounts to 50,000. At the end of the month, instead of you paying 50,000, because you qualify for this employment tax incentive, your pay as you earn gets reduced by this employment tax incentive of 15,000, and you only have to pay 35,000 Rand. Okay, so let's make another example. Let's say you have an employee that meets the employee criteria of 3,000 Rand and they earn 3,000 Rand. And let's say there's 10 of these employees, right, that meet this criteria, and your pay as you earn was 60,000 Rand. So your pay as you earn at the end of the month will be reduced by this employment tax incentive of 15,000. And instead of you paying 60,000, you only end up paying 45,000 Rand. Another example, so let's say you have an employee whose salary is 6,000, right? And this employment tax incentive will be 375. So the question that I normally get asked is, how come the employment tax incentive reduces the higher the employee earns? That's because it's trying to encourage employment of the youth, people that are at entry level, still starting out. So that's why the incentive is a little bit higher if this person is like at a very low earning amount in order to get them employment, right? So let's say you've got 10 of these employees. So your employment tax will be, for the 10 employees, you get a tax deduction of 3,750. If your pay as you earn for the month amounted to 50,000, so your pay as you earn will be reduced by this 3,750. So you only have to pay 46,250. So that's how you can reduce your pay as you earn. If you hire employees that meet those criteria, they are young South Africans, earning less than 6,500 Rand, then you could qualify for this employment tax incentive. Okay. Any questions? If you've got any questions, please raise a hand. Lusana, yes. Yes, go ahead. Lusana, you can go ahead.
Sorry, maybe it's a legacy hand. Apologies.
Oh, okay. Sure. Boydumelo?
Hi, Femi. So this only works when they earn less than 6,000. So if they earn more than that, but they're still a youth, you won't get the incentive.
No, unless they in certain areas within South Africa. So there are certain provinces within South Africa that they're trying to what's the word, to encourage employment. So I'll send you a list of where those areas are in South Africa, but Gauteng is not one of them. So like the other provinces, I forgot the word. It's actually here. And this
Limpopo.
is Limpopo one of them. There's places called, let me see if you can see my screen. Yeah, there's places called special economic zones in South Africa. So the places that fall under the special economic zones, if they meet those criteria but earn more than 6,500, they can still qualify for. I'll just send you a list of what those special economic zones are, and then they could qualify for this. I just can't remember the top of my head, and I've only got a minute left. So Gauteng is not one of them. I'll send you a list. Okay, I've only got time for one more question. Let's take Howard.
On mute. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Go ahead, Howard. You can unmute. Okay. Takani, you can unmute.
Yes, do they have to be temporal or permanent employees?
By temporal, what do you mean? As in, do they work in your organization for more than, I think it's 25 hours a month, or you hire them as and when you need them?
As and when I need them, when I have big projects.
Yeah. So if it's as and when you need them and they're working more than the 30 hours by they are recognized as employees by the Department of Labor, then yes, they can qualify for this, but only during the months when they are being employed in your organization.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, guys, we're running out of time, and that's why I had to make this a 3-part webinar because of the time. So I just want to share with you guys a gift specifically for this webinar, especially for this webinar. We've created an ebook whereby we are saying numbers speak loud, the top 10 reasons business owners change accountants, uncovering the true expense, embrace change for prosperity. So if you'd like a copy of this ebook, I'm just going to share in the link how you can get this ebook. So please feel free to access this ebook. The second thing that I just want to quickly share with you is if you'd like to book a 30-minute consultation with me, specifically for this webinar, I'm sharing this 30-minute consultation so that you guys that are part of this webinar can be able to put time with me to find out a little bit more about how we can help your businesses with your company taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, right? So I'm also just sharing that in the chats. And then we'll be having the second part webinar on the 7th of December. And if you'd like to register for it, I'm also sharing in the chat a link for how you can register for part 2, where we'll be covering the penalties as well as the SDL mandatory grant to help your company reduce its tax bill. Okay, so that's our next webinar. It's happening on the 7th of November from 9 till 9:30. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, typo there. I said 7 November. That should be 7 December. It's happening on the 7th of December. So it's next week, Thursday, same time, 9 till 9:30. These are our contact details if you just want to reach out to us as well. But otherwise, I would like to thank you for you guys putting this time and coming to join us at this webinar. I will stay on for any other quick questions, but if you would like to depart, thank you so much for making the time. I do appreciate it. And I hope to see you at the next webinar that's taking place next week on the 7th of December. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Please put back your contact details.
Okay, not a problem. Here's the contact.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pamela, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
I'm
please,
one
go
of
ahead.
those who missed to get a chance to ask a question twice, but it's
Go
okay, I
ahead.
understand time.
Time.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you regarding the first one, the SBC.
Yes.
If you qualify for all those, because I'm aware, you know, I qualify for all that, but I got a message for a penalty. This company is a company that I registered that I thought I could do something other people. Never traded, I've never submitted returns, but I got a penalty.
Okay, so let me explain how the penalty came about, ne?
Mm.
When you registered the company with the CIPC, right? And then let's say your financial year end was February, all right? So the assumption is that there is income tax that is payable to SARS. That's the assumption. So unless you declare to SARS and say, my company was dormant, meaning it was not trading, yes.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to assume it's not trading unless you tell them. Because how is SARS going to know if you don't tell them? Right? So that's why even if your company was not trading, you still need to submit the returns and say, my company was not trading. And then you will not incur any penalties. But because now when you don't submit returns, you are not being compliant. And that's where the penalties come about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but all the years, it's more than 10 years, I've never submitted nothing. Never.
That's the problem.
Just this year. And my worry was that it was a scam. So I did not even want to open it because you know there's a lot. It was a scam. And I was really, really afraid to even open it. I tried to call SARS. Unfortunately, I was terribly busy.
Yeah.
I was actually intending to go to SARS, but time is of essence for me. So I got very frustrated. I wasn't sure because all the years, is it a new thing? Because I saw on your website or Facebook page, you explain how that works, but I never got time to read it. So I said, because I'm attending this, I'll ask you. Because all the time I've never done returns, I've never done anything. I thought it's a scam, let me be honest, and I'm being cautious.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't take it serious.
no, it's just that SARS is tightening things now. That's why they are being a little bit more stricter. That's why because they want to ensure that things are being done correctly, even at SARS's side. So you should have received some reminders as well to say that your returns are outstanding. and then they start charging the penalties because you have not submitted. So the way forward is for you to submit the nil returns, because you have to submit, because unless you tell them that my company is not dormant, they are going to continue charging you because you are not submitting returns. Therefore, you're not being tax compliant. So you need to inform SARS that, guys, my company has been dormant. Therefore, there is no income tax for me to pay. And then they'll start charging you penalties. However, the penalties that they've already charged you, those you're still liable for. However, you can still try and ask for them to maybe it's called remission of interest and penalties, but you need to have a very good reason why you have not been submitting your returns. You have to have a very good reason for them to then accept your reason and then discard the penalties. But it has to be a very good reason, because by law, the moment you have a company, you have to submit your income tax returns. And if the company is not trading, you still have to submit and just indicate that my company is dormant, and that's it.
By submitting returns?
Yes.
No, thank you very much. That's why we need experts, because honestly, I thought it was a scam because for 10 years, I've never submitted anything, no penalty.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I just said, there they go again.
No, I understand.
I have no reason, unfortunately, because I was just saying for so many years I did not pay. This must be a scam. That is why I wanted to go to SARS themselves. But unfortunately, the penalties are there. I'll have to pay them. And then will it have to be a yearly thing?
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. The income tax is every year.
No, perhaps I should just, because it's just too much work, I should just close the company. I think that's the best, yeah, because I'm not going to use it. Yeah. No, thanks, Pamela. But then it proves that we need them, because I just thought it's a scam. 10 years without any returns, never a penalty. That's why I didn't take it serious, because people copy exactly the way SARS write, exactly, including emails. But anyway, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome, dear. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Any other questions? Because I see people are still here. Bantu, do you have a question for me? Brian? Cedric? Hey, DK. Ifya, do you have a question for me? Frank, Howard, James? Hey, James, a fellow accountant.
Hi, Pamela.
Yes, Howard.
Oh.
Hi, Tim.
Yes, Howard, how are you?
I'm very well, and you, Pam?
I'm great, thanks.
My question, sorry, I joined in a bit later. I was busy with something and they reminded me.
Yeah.
My question is related to the spreadsheet we had earlier, because that's quite relevant for us.
Yes.
I just wanted to, those figures you showed, there was, I saw something like 10 EE. What does that mean?
Was this with regards to the, let me just share my screen.
I think the rebate, the income, the payee rebate.
The payee one, eh? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one. Sorry, let me remove that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's do this. It's only those two brackets.
Yeah, it's these two brackets. So it's between the 2,000 and the 4,499, or between 4.5 and 6,499.
Oh, okay. Now I see. What does ETI mean?
Employment tax incentive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the EE would be what? Eligible or something?
No,
Eligible
EE.
employee.
Yeah, EE is the employee. Like employment tax
Oh, okay.
incentive per employee. And then this one is
Um,
employment tax incentive for 10 employees.
Oh, so that's 10 times 1.5. Okay, I get it.
Yes, yes.
But now, okay, that's the amount that they chooses. Now that payee, let's say the 60,000 would be the total per month payable for all the employees you have, right? Even
100%.
the higher one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But then that would include, okay, and then for that you would reduce by that. So irrespective of how many employees, no?
Irrespective how many employees, irrespective what your revenue is, irrespective of how many shareholders, directors, there is no limit on this one.
As long as the
As long
shareholders are
as,
natural people,
yeah,
natural person. Okay. Now that's fine because that's quite relevant to us here. So perhaps at some point we just need to discuss this further.
sure, sure. Did you see the link with my calendar? You can just book a date and time that works for you, and then we can have the session.
Okay. I saw it, but I don't think I grabbed it. Or maybe perhaps you can email it if you could be so kind.
Sure. All right. I'll make a Howard, do you mind just writing your email on the chat, and then I'll send you my calendar.
Okay.
Perfect.
Where do I write it? Where do I what shots? Okay, yeah. Oh, there we go. I will send you 2 email addresses
Not a problem.
because there's 2 people.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Howard. Bantu, do you have a question? Cedric, DK, Frank, James, Ntantla, No, Kuzola, Sipu, hey, Zoops. Okay, those are my people. Okay, if there are no other questions, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I really do appreciate it. And please don't forget to register for the next webinar, which is happening next week, Thursday at 8 till 9. But I will definitely send you a reminder. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You have to attend that one.